Hi Joe, I received your message today regarding the World Campus template, and I have looked at it and I have incorporated some of the aspects of the template into the course itself. So what I'd like to do is just show you what I've done, and you can tell me which direction that you would like me to move forward with. So I created a front page. There are certainly options that we could go with, either having a front page and creating some links on the front page. We could go with the module as our first page. We could use the syllabus as our first page. So we certainly have some options there. But I just did a quick, pulled something together real quickly to give you an idea of what I was thinking about. Just having some instructor information and then some course information links, possibly even just listing all the modules as well, can certainly do that too. But what I want to do is first show you what I've done. What I have done is I worked on the syllabus, and I don't know if this was something that you wanted me to do, but I did. I pulled in my syllabus, but then I made some modifications and to make it more generic. Certainly, this is something that you may or may not want, so I'm not really sure. In any event, just having some instructor information, the description, the materials. I'll come back to that in just a moment. The assignments and how they're going to be graded. Taking a look at the grading scale. This is the grading scale that you have for Penn State Abington, and then just different policies. And then I know that there are certain components of the syllabus that have to be there, so they are also in here as well. I did include some of the items that were a part of the World Campus, but I have made sure to modify the links so that they are directed to Penn State Abington and not to World Campus. So this would pertain to the technology and software piece as well as the university policies. Also included the calendar. I created a page of a weekly outline. I'll go ahead and click on this one, and you can get an idea of how I broke down the content so it would work for the spring and the fall, as well as a 12-week session, and then in the fall accommodating for Thanksgiving, in the spring accommodating for spring break. And so that's the syllabus. I did want to go back to that one piece in here which had to do with the course materials. I wasn't sure again in which direction that you would like to go in. The text that I have selected here is Visualizing Technology. It's a complete edition which has 12 chapters. There is an introductory that has 9. The current edition is available right now as of today is the 7th edition. The 8th edition is expected to be out next month. So I would prefer, if we decided on this text, to work with the 8th edition. The link that I have here is for the Pearson store. This is a direct link to the ebook or the digital book, and it is $60. This is the same textbook that World Campus uses, and it is the textbook that I use at Bucks. So I am quite familiar with the book. All right, the other link I wanted to share with you is and show you what I've done with the modules. And so I'm thinking that what we can do with the content is that we can go one of two ways. I can create pages for each module, and to give you an idea of what you could include on the module page would be a list of, in this case, the first chapter is what is a computer, and we would list the chapter objectives. We could then map any of these objectives to the current goal for the course, providing a rationale of why we are studying this information, and then providing a list of learning activities. These would include the reading that would be required as well as PowerPoints. We have an audio PowerPoint that is included with the text as well as the PowerPoints, and then I have included some YouTube videos. These are certainly optional. And then here's a list of different discussions. So I'm not quite sure if I'd want to have the peer introductions this week. I might want to place that actually in a module for orientation or a getting started module. So that necessarily, I guess, really wouldn't belong here. In any event, there will be other could just place all the links in here. So we have discussion links, having we talked about these different assignments that I created. There is this one I called you know, I call them digital labs because they're hands-on and they work with online different pieces of software that I think would be really useful for the students to be familiar with. So this is one called Capture a Screenshot. It is from the textbook. There are different how-to sections inside the text that get the students involved in making sure that they are aware of how to do different things. Just getting familiar with different pieces of software that obviously are necessary and useful. And then every week there would be a project piece. Every week there would be a quiz based off of the chapter information, and then any additional articles or videos that could place in the supplement area. So we could create modules, pages, and each page for each module would contain all this information. Now, I do like the look of this. I do. I think it's very clean. But I know it certainly has disadvantages, and I don't like that students don't know maybe where they've left off. That would have to be a mental note for them. There's really no indication of what's complete, what's incomplete, and so while I do like this layout, it doesn't lend itself, I think, to as nicely as the actual module setup within Canvas allows. So if we go back to the other example of what I was talking about, is looking at and setting up an actual module. So this we would have instead of having it all on one page, I have a shortened version of this where we would list the objectives and map that goal if we needed to, and then provide the rationale. I want to go back to the actual module view instead of stepping through it using the next button. We would have a list of here's where all the learning activities would be, and these would be links that would bring them to that information. Here we would see the list of discussions, the digital lab piece, the quiz area, the group project section, and then the supplements would be down below. So this is basically the layout. You'll notice I've placed in empty headers in here. The reason I did that is because when you look at this from a student perspective, from the student view, it presents really neatly. So when I click on the links here, you can see that it just cleans it up and makes it, I think, easier to read and to follow. So that's what I've done. I do have some other modules that I've been working on, an orientation module, a getting started module that you could use with an online section, and if needed or wanted to, certainly with a face-to-face or on-campus section. So that's what I have. So if you have any questions, please let me know. I'd like to know which direction you'd like to go in. If, in fact, you would like to work with this textbook, I will work on then importing and creating the quizzes, modifying all the different overviews and learning objectives, and pulling everything together. So I'll just wait to hear from you. Thank you.